I'm going to try something a little different today. Let me know what you think of it in the comments section. Ready? Here we go. Welcome to Tuesday DJ Gig Tips, brought to you by Vibo, the music request app. Today we're going to tackle dinner and cocktail music. And usually, dinner and cocktail music can go one of two ways. Either your client has a very strong opinion as to what they want to hear for dinner and cocktail music. They may even give you a list of songs to play. The other way it could go is they have absolutely no opinion and you have to figure it out for yourself. And I've seen a lot of DJs in groups and on social media say that they struggle with this sometimes. They're not sure what to play. Well, let me see if I can shed some light on this for you. Sometimes when they have specific requests, that's even tough. And the reason it's tough is because dinner and cocktail music is background music, for one. So it needs to be played at very low listening levels. And some music is problematic at low listening levels, such as classical and even Rat Pack stuff and big band. And the reason it's problematic is because A, it's popular, but B, it has a lot of what we call crescendo in it. And what that is when the music gets really quiet for a while, and then there's a spike in the volume, a sudden spike in the volume. You hear it in Frank Sinatra music, you hear it in classical, you hear it in big band, which is a lot like the Rat Pack stuff. And that's not great music to play over our style of PA systems to an audience at a moderate listening level. There have been several times where I've played things like Rat Pack, and I'm playing a Frank Sinatra song, and it's real quiet, so you turn the volume up because they're saying they can't hear the music, and then all of a sudden there's a spike because the horns come in and grandma jumps. We don't want to give grandma a heart attack. So when it comes to, let's say, Rat Pack music, my suggestion is to look at music that is more contemporary and has compressed recordings. And what I mean by that is the newer recordings don't typically have a lot of volume jumps in it. It's all pretty even when it comes to that, and you can kind of set the volume and not worry too much about it. Things like Michael Bublé or Harry Connick Jr. would be really good examples of more contemporary pop standard Rat Pack style music without going full on Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin about it. It just seems to be more listener friendly in that regard when it comes to us playing it over our PA systems. So let's say they have no opinion on it. By default, I play something called smooth jazz. And some people like it, some people don't. I like it a lot, and I'm getting my smooth jazz from Top Hits USA. I've been with them for many, many years, and they'll supply that for me. When it comes to smooth jazz, I try to stay away from music that has vocals in it. That style of music, it seems like if I can pick an up-tempo track with no vocals, it's ideal. Sometimes smooth jazz can be very sleepy. Well, you don't want to play sleepy smooth jazz. Sometimes smooth jazz can have vocals in it, and I just personally prefer not to play that. Again, up-tempo, instrumental smooth jazz is a real easy go-to for me. Another good one would be something like strings, but contemporary strings. I use an artist called Vitamin String Quartet. You can download them on Amazon, and what they do are string versions of contemporary songs. So I've got Nirvana, I've got AC/DC, I've got Eric Clapton, I've got The Cure, I've got Led Zeppelin. I have all of these different artists being played by a string quartet. That's pretty cool. And the reason I like that is it's almost interactive to the audience. Some people just kind of zone out and it's just strings and not really paying attention to what's going on. Other people will kind of perk up and say, hey, isn't that Led Zeppelin? It's kind of fun. And some people get it, some people don't. It's almost like it's an inside joke between you and the people who are paying attention in the audience. Another one, and you have to be very careful with this one, is Richard Cheese. Richard Cheese does lounge versions of contemporary songs. However, he usually does things with a lot of foul language in it. It's funny, he does things like Baby Got Back. He does things like, Down with the Sickness, which has a lot of foul language in it. You can't get an edited version of things like Down with the Sickness and Rape Me that he also does But it's not like he changes any lyrics. He just puts a beep over the four-letter words, and you don't want to hear beeps in your music. So I find that stuff useless. But some of the stuff that Richard Cheese does, I love playing, like Another Brick in the Wall or Bust a Move, I think are really good ones. And again, it's one of those things where you can play them, in other pop standard sets with like Harry Connick Jr. or Michael Bublé. And some people hear it and laugh and get it, and some people don't. Again, it's kind of an inside joke, and I think that's fun. Another thing you can do with dinner music or cocktail music that works very well is, let's say that you have a client that gives you a huge request list of music, and there's no way that you could play all of these songs for dancing. You just don't have enough time. What I like to do sometimes is pick the songs off of those lists that are less danceable, because I don't want people to want to dance during dinner and cocktail. I want them to just listen, and I'll play them for dinner and cocktail. Sometimes it's a situation where, I don't know, a while back I had somebody who was into the blues. It's like, I like blues, but I know you can't play blues at weddings. Well, there's up-tempo blues, and why couldn't you play some cool up-tempo fun blues for cocktail? So that's what I did. So the client got the music they wanted, but it didn't interfere with any of the dancing in the evening. I've done it with rock. I've done it with, 80s music. I've done it with all kinds of stuff. You can absolutely do that. And I don't worry too much about lyrical content for dinner and cocktail. Reason being is, it's at low listening levels. People aren't hung up on the lyrics so much. They're having conversation. It's just background music. But it shouldn't be sleepy. I don't like sleepy stuff. I remember I went to a wedding one time and somebody was playing the Nat King Cole Greatest Hits CD on loop. Some of it was incredibly sleepy, and it made me want to go to sleep sitting at the table. And the other thing that they did was went ahead and let the Christmas song by Nat King Cole play. And this wedding was happening in probably July or August. It was a summertime wedding. That was weird. So, yeah, you put a little bit of thought into it. But yeah, you can have fun with dinner and cocktail music. Absolutely. Pick things that maybe a lot of people wouldn't think of playing, but enhance the event. Maybe please somebody out in the audience who's not hearing what they necessarily want to hear during dancing. They can hear it during dinner and cocktail. I think that's a really cool way to use those times. But yeah, if you struggle with this, there are some ideas for you. There are some thoughts on it. And I want to try to do this every Tuesday, some kind of gig tip like this. If you have any questions, answers, or anything else, please let us know down in the comment section. And we'll see you next Tuesday for more Tuesday DJ Gig Tips. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Practice and enjoy.